Category 1 hurricane and a 2-week wait. Where I'm at on my fertility journey. Hi there, or welcome back. If you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Jolene Brighten, and I'm currently trying to get pregnant over 40, which has been not as easy of a journey as I think we would all hope it would be, right? Anyone who's trying to conceive definitely wishes for easier days. And I do have to say, with my first son, it took some time to get pregnant. With my second son at 39, I was pregnant like that. Tracked everything, knew when I ovulated, got pregnant right away. And this last time, it was the same. I got pregnant right away by predicting which day I was fertile. And then if you saw my previous video, I had a miscarriage. And following that, I took some time to just breathe. And I have patients who sometimes they're like, I can't not be pregnant. Like after being pregnant, I need to try right away. And I definitely had moments where I felt like that. And then there were moments where I was like, I'm traveling. I don't want to have to worry about what to eat or going and getting a first trimester ultrasound. And so we're just going to wait. And I was like, we're going to wait and we'll do it on like this month. We'll make it happen. Oh. And then we found ourselves in a hotel room in our travels on the day I was ovulating with children in our bed. And I just that wasn't gonna do it for me. That wasn't gonna happen. Which I feel like somebody in the comments is gonna be like, if you want a baby bad enough, you just make it happen anywhere. Yeah, children in the bed with me is like a hard no for me. That is in terms of my own archetype, my sexual desire archetype, that's a hard break. That's gonna shut it down. I am not, no, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Will not collect the semen. Not happening. So I missed that chance. And then we tried and I didn't get pregnant. And I am once again in the 2-week wait, and I think it's just the shittiest place to be. After going through a miscarriage, it's not a fun place to be. And we just went through a category 1 hurricane, which is why I look like this. And stress is really high, and I've been mopping and cleaning up everything that I could in my house. We've been going to neighbors. We've been helping lots of people, staying up way too late, taking care of leaks, and all of the things like stress and sleep-wise that you shouldn't do when you're trying to get pregnant. I'm trying not to cry because it's just weighing on me that we aimed to get pregnant. Like there was the yay, ovulation prediction kit hits and it's positive and let's do this. And then here rolls in this hurricane, which was supposed to be a tropical storm, and we were prepared for it. But the reality is that like, even no matter how prepared you are, it is just so much physical work, mental work. And then there's the emotional toll of what's going on with our family dynamic, like trust. Anyone who's been through a hurricane knows that like, man, it just gets tense between everyone at times when it's like, we have to mop, we have to clean this right now. And the kids are like, but I want you to pay attention to me. And I'm like, I love you. And I also have to like take care of this. And we're trying to like parent in a way that they don't feel like traumatized by the event, but also make sure that like our entire room doesn't like get overrun with water to where it's leaking through our ceiling or running down the stairs. And then there's the emotional toll that like our neighbors are affected and we need to check in on them. So I'm sending my husband to like, go and help clean out all the water of a friend's house and pick up towels so I can take care of them for a friend while I have electricity. We lost cell service. That was like one that we're like, yes, that's a possibility. I want to say I'm very fortunate to be a doctor and have stuff in the house that I'm like, I can handle a lot of things that may come up just having small children, but it still is very stressful to be like, we don't know, are we going to run out of water? We don't know when the power is coming back on. We don't know where the storm is at. Like we're basically disconnected from everyone, everywhere. And that's just stressful. And I don't even have it as hard as some people in certain areas that had tremendous flooding where they lost their homes. So like, I just want to like, I really want to speak to the fact that like, man, if I'm feeling this stress, like what are other people feeling? There's definitely people who have had it harder. But I just, in terms of the fertility conversation, I wanted to come on and record. It's the end of the day and the rain just started again. And I was just like, I can't like do more rain. I can only imagine how people felt with Hurricane Maria. And I was like, I want to go talk about this and I want to share this because I can't be the only person who's in their 2-week wait. There's the thunder. That is just like, this is just to say that like, God, I don't know if I'm going to be pregnant. And that really sucks. Like it really sucks because I was doing all the things again and getting my hopes up again because I really like to do that to myself. I don't know. Part of me is like, girl, maybe you should stop doing that. And the other part of me is like, I don't want to live without hope right now. Like that's just not, I want to feel the hope and I want to feel the excitement. And I guess I want to take back saying the 2 weeks is a shitty place because maybe it's not. Like it is, it could be this surprise, but it is the reality that I just went through a natural disaster after ovulating and timing everything and doing everything right. And my body isn't as resilient as it once was. And if y'all know about like how you could go out and party in your 20s and not sleep and be just fine and get up and go to work. And then in your 30s, you're like, this is harder. And in your 40s, you're like, my body's not bouncing back from this. Like we really should have learned in our 20s. Let's be real. But there is less resiliency. And I just wonder after the stress of just going through a miscarriage, having COVID, we have no childcare right now. Which if you are a single mom or if you're a stay-at-home mom or really any kind of mom who doesn't have that level of support, you might be like, boo-hoo, it must be so hard. I am finishing up writing my book. I also run a company and I have employees who can't do their jobs unless I do my job and whose jobs depend on me. And that is incredibly stressful. And so I just want to say that because I think I have mad respect for stay-at-home moms. I think it is a tremendously difficult job. What I'm able to do in this world, I can't do without support. And so not having childcare is very stressful for me. And I have a great husband who's like, we trade off and we get our work done and we make it work somehow, but it's stressful. So there's just, I just want to say, like, we tend, it's like stay-at-home moms pitted against working moms. And I'm like this hybrid mom where I homeschool and I am with my kids and I also work and I need help. I just need help. So through all this, I've had like no childcare, but still book deadlines and all kinds of deadlines. It's been stressful. So, stress. That's out of our control. What can we do about it? We can't do anything. I can't stop it from raining. I'm like, past the camera is rain just coming down, and I'm like, what drain have I not cleaned out? What water is gonna come in? Like, I just laundered all the towels. They're all gonna go back into having to cover leaks. So there's that. I can't control that. I can't control that my children are, cooped up in a house and knowing the stress, but not really understanding the degree of stress. I can't control that, like, my oldest son, he had enough comprehension to feel fearful of what the possibility of what could happen during a hurricane. And then he really needed me to comfort him and to reassure him and let him know that everything is okay. I can't control any of that. But what I can control is taking any damn break I can get So here I am talking to you, and you might be like, isn't YouTube working? Isn't making a video working? It is. It's a lot of work to make videos, but I'm also getting to talk about it, and that's helpful. Especially when I have unstable Wi-Fi and I can't just jump on with like my counselor and be like, I need to chat. I need to chat. I also just breaking away and doing some deep breathing. Before the storm came, one of the things I did is I baked with my son. Baking is actually stress relief for me. I don't even need to eat it. I just like need to just like go through being in the kitchen and working with my hands and creating things. And so there were things I started to do before the storm came in. There's also just things now of like, I mean, I was so physically exhausted. And today I'm like, I have to do some kind of working out that isn't mopping for an hour straight or hauling branches, or like I need to like actually like work out in a way that's mindful in my body. And so gonna find some time for that. And it's late afternoon, so it might only be 5 minutes, but I'll take what I can get. So my point is that you find ways to relieve stress where you can. Is this gonna be enough right now? No. Am I gonna need to like really take some self-care time here in the coming weeks? Yeah. That's gonna need to happen. It's definitely gonna need to happen. But right now is like such a push. And we rest later, but we need to push now. But we've got to find the breaks where we can. And if you are someone who is dealing with the loss of a loved one or family crisis, and you're going through this fertility journey and you're like feeling like scared, like I am, like, what if I don't ovulate next cycle because of this stress? And then that's like a missed opportunity. Or what if like this is just all screwed up because of how stressful this was. I wanted to say how stressed I allowed myself to get. And yes, I did allow myself to get stressed and things to get overwhelming. But did I? I don't know. Actually, I say that. Did I? Because I don't know. I don't know if there was anything that I could really do when the storm rolled in at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had to go check every single room and every single window and every single door and every place that there's a drain and just everything that water's not coming in. And it's not that, like, I just want to say, people are like, I've had people say, well, like, why don't you just get your roof fixed? Oh, I wish it was my roof. No, it's that when you have that much water coming down or being pushed at you from the ocean, the drains can't keep up. And the wind isn't letting it in the drain, and it will push it through the wall. Like, it comes through everywhere. Um, and I feel like I feel like you are getting the me that has been having broken sleep at like 5 to 6 hours a night for several days. And I am definitely not as coherent as I would like to be. But I want you to know that you're not alone. And there is something that's come up through all of this. In my personal circles, we have WhatsApp groups, all the moms checking in on each other, me texting friends, me sending my husband out in the hurricane to my friend's house because she was like, I'm not gonna make it if I don't get some more towels. Like, this is like, I'm being overrun here. Going through all of that and realizing I jumped into a mom's group and just said, there's just so much water and like this is overwhelming and this is hard, and like if you're going through this too, I'm going through this too, and it's hard. To which a lot of people were like, thank you for saying that. I got all these DMs for people in my group who were like, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I just needed to hear that I wasn't the only one who was struggling to stay ahead of the water, or whose every effort to prevent water from coming in or the damages was completely thwarted, that it didn't work. Because that's really disappointing as well, because it's a lot of work to get ready for this. And just giving that permission of like, it's okay for all of us to not be okay. We are all struggling right now, was such a shift, I think, for all of us, and all of us just articulating. And this was after like self-service finally came back, but we were like one bar. It was kind of comical how we were trying to communicate with that. But, this is at the end of the day. And just the relief that I also felt when people were coming in saying, yeah, me too. I felt so ashamed that I didn't handle this better, or that something's wrong with my house, or all of this stuff. And so having just gone through this hurricane and being in my 2-week wait, realizing that there are other people out there right now who are also in this position of my stress is really high and there's nothing I can do about controlling the stressors. I can only, try to do my deep breathing, which yes, I'm trying to do that, but it's one of those things that as a doctor, I know it's helping, but going through my day, I'm like, is that even doing anything right now? It is. It's tonifying the parasympathetic nervous system. I could give you all that science. It is. And yet it doesn't feel like that, right? So if you are in that place of you feel like things are overwhelmingly stressful, or you feel ashamed because you've tried to get pregnant and it's not happening, you feel like a loss is your fault. If you are feeling those things, I just want to give you permission to pause and be gentle with yourself and recognize you're not alone. That fertility is, sometimes it is a wham bam done. Yay. All the way to the finish line, amazing, got a baby situation. And a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's not. Because we know that at least 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage. We know that lots of couples, 15% is the top end of the estimate of people who are having unprotected sex for a year. They're infertile and they need help. And what so often stops us from getting help from doctors, from family, from friends is definitely feeling shame, feeling like we should be doing something different, and feeling like we're probably the only one. And I've had this conversation with multiple friends. Every friend that I was I just drove to their house and checked on them the day after the hurricane and was like, how can we help? Those are my strong friends. Those are my friends that they're a lot like me. I'm that person. I would never ask you for help, because if I'm in it, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to get it done and I'm going to push through it. And I'm just going to figure it out. Even if that means just running myself all the way down. And I feel like I'm old enough and wise enough now to know not to do that. And so I was like, these are my friends that are like that. And I'm just going to go show up and I'm going to help. And even if it's just giving a hug and being like, this sucks. This is hard. And every one of them was like, I would have never asked for help if you didn't just show up, or you didn't relentlessly text me. I wouldn't have asked for help, because I'm just not that person. So if you know that person that's the strong friend, even just a text message, and not being like, what can I do? Because that can also feel overwhelming. You might be hearing my children in the background screaming right now because they're playing who knows what, but they're heavy. Let them be. Anyhow, if you know that strong friend, not a what can I do, but a would it be helpful if could I do this for you? And think about what's in your capacity to do, because you don't want to overpromise. That gets you overextended. Because then if you overextend yourself, that's not good for you. It's not good for your family. It's not good for the people in your life. It's not good for your relationship with them. And if you are that strong friend, it is a difficult thing to change, but you can even just comment below, I'm that strong friend. I'm the strong one. And even just identifying that in yourself can really help bring to light that I am the strong one, and I'm going to be made stronger with community and support, and thinking about what that looks like for you. So many children noises. But it is what it is. Oh, so we're in that 2-week wait. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be so pissed if that's a negative pregnancy test. And even though Dr. Me's like, it makes sense if it is, I don't know if I'm gonna be pissed or I'm gonna cry. I don't know what I'm gonna feel. I think I wanna be that strong friend and I wanna feel pissed. And I wanna be like, I'm gonna be mad. But really, I'm probably gonna cry. I'm gonna probably cry. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. This is I really thought when we set out to do this journey that I was like, it might be a little hard at times. It's been much more painful than I had really anticipated. But seeing all your comments on the video where I shared about my loss, I read them all. I haven't responded to them all. There's just times where it feels depleting sometimes to like respond. And I just want to be honest about that. But I read them and they mean so much. So much. I can't even tell you. They really mean so much having that support. And to hear that it's helped you too, for me to share my journey, even the really sucky parts. So, with that said, let's hope no more sucky parts. I feel like could we pinky swear it and then maybe we can make that true for ourselves? I don't know. Anyhow, we have a lot to be grateful for in terms of being safe, being dry, not having lost our home. We lost some things, but they're just things. And on that note of a crying child, I will see you next time around. Thank you for being here.